So let's now talk about the communication models, right? This section I think is very important. Project success is dependent on effective communication, right? And my personal experiences, probably communications are the most important part of what you do as a project manager, right? Without proper communications, your project is doomed to fail, right? So I personally think that's my personal experience. Communications, effective communications, are the most important part of what you do as a project manager. Communication models demonstrate concepts associated with how sender and receiver frames of reference impact the effectiveness of communication, how the communication medium influences the effectiveness of communications, and the types of disconnect between end user expectations and reality, right? And that disconnect is something that we want to avoid because it might be a really big deal for the project success. With the prevalence of multicultural project teams and dispersed stakeholders, these models provide a way of viewing communication styles and methods to enhance communication efficiency and effectiveness. There are many communications models that demonstrate different aspects of communication. In sections 4221 through 4223 of the guide, right, of the project manager's guide, PMP guide, provide a sampling of communication models. Now, cross-cultural communications. Cross-cultural communications. A communication model developed by Broyce and Price incorporates the idea that the message itself and how it's transmitted is influenced by the sender's current knowledge, experience, language, thinking, and communication styles, as well as stereotypes and relationship to the receiver. I think it's difficult to argue with the statement, right? It's difficult to argue with the statement. It's pretty much right. Similar, the receiver's knowledge, experience, language, thinking, and communication styles, as well as stereotypes and relationship to the sender, will influence how the message is interpreted, right? So we have sometimes a bottleneck here, right? We have sometimes a bottleneck here, and we need to be able to overcome it. Let's talk about effectiveness of communication channels. Alistair Cockburn developed a model that describes the communication channels along the axis of effectiveness and richness. As defined by Richard Deft and Robert Langell, richness relates to the amount of learning that can be transmitted through a medium. And media richness is a function of characteristics including the ability to handle multiple information cues simultaneously, facilitate rapid feedback, establish a personal focus, and utilize natural language.